Hey, silver sellers, welcome back to the channel. So, as of today, the banks have gold at 1914 and silver at 2284. And so, what we're going to talk about today is gold legal tender in 23 states? The law says it's legal tender in 23 states. And if you're like me, you're asking yourself, well, what does that exactly mean? And how does that impact me? And if I want to sell, what impact does the title legal tender have for the precious metals? So I thought we'd take a look at the first state that passed the what they call a currency amendment to make gold and silver legal tender in the state of Utah, and get into the specifics because the devil's always in the details as to what that actually means. Well, the first thing, and I'll show you some screenshots of the bill where you can find it online as well. But the first thing that this bill recognizes gold and silver coins is that they have to be issued by the federal government. And I'm assuming, therefore, then that means that this coin is issued by the U.S. Mint, and these are issued by the U.S. Mint. So these would be considered legal tender in the state of Utah and the 23 other states that we have. And oh, by the way, stick around for the ATF review at the end. We're going to review one of these things on the table for you, just to kind of give you a quick user review. So the state of Utah says that these coins are now legal tender. Well, in getting into the details, all that means is that they can one, if they're issued by the U.S. government, so the U.S. Mint coins only, not any other coins, any of the world coins, Philharmonics or sovereigns or anything like that. But they, but the big thing is unlike your dollar bill that you have to use, the bill does not compel another person to have to accept it. So that's the big thing. You're not compelled to accept it. So even though it's legal tender, there isn't the note like you have on your dollar bill where it is legal for all. You can tender this $20 bill for all debts, public and private. That has no such meaning on these coins. So if I'm a store owner and I don't want to accept your gold, I don't have to. Apparently, there are a couple hundred stores in Utah that are accepting it. However, here's where it gets tricky. When you can exchange the gold and silver coins for another form of legal tender, meaning I can exchange these for dollar bills or I can exchange it for commodities. But here's where it gets really tricky, and we're going to cover this in another video as well, as far as these sites that offer cryptocurrencies. What does this cost? What does this cost? What is this worth? Right? Well, on the back, if you take a look at it, I believe they still have it. It says $1. So that's $1 according to the U.S. Mint. Now, if you look at the paper price, if I want to buy this in an ETF on paper, well, I'm going to pay $22.84, which is spot price. But to hold this in my hand, this coin, you're lucky to get it today, which is in August 2023. You're lucky to get this for under 30. If you can find it under 30, you'd be very lucky. But this coin actually is worth probably $35 at a spot price of $22.84. So who determines what the value of this coin is when I go to trade it in for goods and services, right? Similarly, this is a half ounce American Eagle I just picked up just the other day. And this, if gold is at 1914, this should be worth $957, which is half of 1914 because it's a half ounce, right? It says $25 on the back. I'm not going to sell for $25, but good luck in finding this coin for $1,200, right? That's what to hold this physical coin is. So that difference, for those that don't know, is called the premium. So how are you calculating for the premium? And the premium fluctuates based on scarcity, market demand, so it's up and down, almost like the spot price. And this one, this beautiful coin, this is a half ounce proof, which means they stamped it a couple extra times at the Mint. And this should also be worth $957, which is half an ounce. But a proof coin is probably running around $1,400 today. So that's another factor. And then it even gets even worse with the 1/10 ounce. This should be $191 with the spot price of $1,900, but it's not. So but you could get lucky getting one for $250. So there again, that's part of the problem. You're not compelled to use it. It's hard to find any indication as far as what the actual price is for turning these in. And then finally, the other couple pieces of the bill that I'll put on there, they do add a feature in there where they're going to study the currency for future use, which this bill was passed in 2011. So we haven't seen anything in the last 12 years, so they haven't been doing a lot of work on that. And the big deal, the only thing that you get from these tax laws or from this treating this as gold and silver is legal tender, is they're giving you a break on the capital gains tax at the state level. So if your state has capital gains income taxes, some states do, some states don't, they waive that for you as a credit off of residents. So if I'm a non-resident, I go to Utah and I sell this, it's not like I get tax-free capital gains. I'm a resident. I have to be a resident to enjoy the tax example. So to keep that in mind, because one of the thoughts I had was being close to Utah, I could just drive over there, sell it, and not avoid capital gains, but that would only be for the state taxes, and that's only for residents. Or if you have a trust or a business in Utah, you can take some tax credits on the tax for capital gains. That's it. So there's a lot of smoke in here, not a lot of fire. So keep tuned to the channel as things develop. We'll talk more about these laws in the future and how to sell your silver and take advantage of those. Finally, for a quick ETA ATF update, I'm going to introduce you to this this pistol round here. So this is a little company. I'm not endorsing this company or paid by this company at all, but I picked this up several years ago. If you can see this guy online, but I just want to introduce you to the fact that you can buy a lot of custom-made ammo for private sellers, and not the big box stores, but private sellers that do a great job. These particular rounds are 44 Magnum plus P. They're 330 grain, and they come smoking out of the barrel at 1,385 feet per second. So this round will put more muzzle energy out at the barrel than a 5.56 rifle round. So if you've got a bear in your neighborhood, a grizzly bear, a wild moose running through your backyard, or Ford F-150 you need stopped, this will do it. So give these little retail boutique places a look online for rifles. This one is so hopped up you can only use it, you see here, you can only use it for Red Hawk or Super Red Hawk 44 Magnums, otherwise it will destroy your gun. So anyway, fun little side adventure. You can go down that rabbit hole and check those out. Anyway, thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you next time.